everyone, Alexa Donne here, and today I just kind of want to do like a little NaNoWriMo update. It's been, today's the 12th, so it's been 12 days of NaNoWriMo. Just want to do a check-in, starting with, hey, I got a haircut. Really excited. I love short hair, and I've kind of been wanting like something a bit more exciting, so like this is my new wacky hair. Got it done yesterday, so it still kind of has that like salon look. It's probably never going to look this good again, but that's my hair update. So writing, as I mentioned, it's November 12th. So I don't think I formally said this in like my first video about Nano. I might have. I'm not really going for the full NaNoWriMo goal. That's mostly because like I know that this month is going to be a bit tricky for me. The circumstances weren't perfect. Not that the circumstances have to be perfect in order for you to write your novel or for you to hit your goals, but I do think it's important when you are setting goals and you're balancing things like work or children or, you know, all the different responsibilities that you have in your life and balancing those with writing books. I think it's important to be realistic kind of about what you are able to achieve. There's a place for pushing yourself and there's a place for kind of like going easy on yourself but still accomplishing work. So the reason that I kind of knew starting Nano, even though I am doing it, that I wasn't going to be hitting 50,000 words this month. So I just got back from a business trip. I was in Texas from Monday the 6th until Thursday the 10th. Was Thursday the 10th? Maybe Thursday was the 9th. I don't know what day it is. It was exhausting. Thursday was the 9th. Point is, I was in Texas for 4 days, and I really don't like traveling. Some of you might relate to this. It's kind of like a, you know, correlation thing. Many writers have anxiety, not all writers. Many people with anxiety get anxious about travel, and thus many writers hate travel. You may have noticed this. There are authors who talk openly about it, how even like book-related travel can really stress them out. I'm not really someone who travels a lot, not because I don't like going places, I do, but the actual act of all the things you have to do with travel, specifically the whole like packing and making sure that you have everything, leaving on time for the airport, getting to the airport successfully, getting through security without anything going wrong, making your flight on time, making connections, getting to your hotel. You know, I always have a slight anxiety just about getting into a Lyft or an Uber because like you never know and there are strangers involved. Like it's all this low grade anxiety that kind of builds. And so I had a whirlwind trip to Texas. I was in Dallas, El Paso, and Lubbock 3 days in a row. So I was just flying all around Texas. There was one day I was in El Paso, I had to fly back to Dallas, and then I had to wait 3 hours in the airport, take a connection to Lubbock, and I didn't get to my hotel until after midnight. These are the things that make me just like, it triggers anxiety. I should probably stop just talking about my travel anxiety, but I have a lot of it. So meaning I knew going into Nano that this week would suck. This week would be abnormally challenging for getting words on the page because my routine would be interrupted. And my routine normally is I come home from work, I eat dinner, I watch a little television, and then I start writing at 10 p.m. and that's when I get my daily words in. That just wasn't going to be possible during travel. I also typically only write on my laptop. I write at home. So I went easy on myself for Nano. This is like a 4-minute story, and the summary of the story is I'm aiming for 20 to 30,000 words this month. That's still a lot of words, but it's not 50,000 words. So I'm going to show you kind of like what I've done this month in terms of my writing, because if you've watched any of my older videos, I use a passion planner to track my writing progress. This is something that I got from V.E. Schwab. She does the same thing. She uses a planner and she tracks her word count per day and she gives herself stars for hitting certain word count goals. My star metric is when I get 500 words, I get a star. And when I accomplish something special in a day, I get like a cute little special sticker. I'm pretty nice to myself, but I do definitely kind of write to get my stars sometimes. So this is my November passion planner so far, and you can see I've got some stars on here. I wrote almost every day. So I wrote the first 3 days of Nano, then I took a day off. I had something that day, and my brain is such a sieve that I can't even remember what I was doing 1 week ago. I'm doing great. Either way, I took that day off. I was probably doing something delightfully social. Then I wrote, you know, the day before my trip, and then look, I wrote while I was on my trip. I wrote on the Monday, that was my first day of travel. I wrote almost 1,500 words. That is a really high word count for me. I did that on a plane, and I'm honestly really, really freaking proud of myself. So that gave me a really good start for the trip. And then I wrote the next day about 400 words. I wrote the next day only 275, but I was on day 3 of my trip. I was so exhausted, just like mentally and emotionally exhausted already. And then my final day of travel, which was probably my most stressful because I had a really tight connection in Dallas to get on my flight to Los Angeles, and I just wanted to go home, and I gave myself permission to just read a book on my Kindle, listen to some music, and like veg out, just like whatever I had to do to just get home that day. But then the next day, Friday, even though I was super exhausted, I wrote about 600 words, and I was so exhausted I wrote the words on the wrong day, which I think is hilarious, so I wrote LOL. And then yesterday I got together with some writer friends here in Los Angeles, and I wrote 1,000 words, yay! So that brings us to today, Sunday. I haven't started doing my writing for the day, but I've been writing. I've been getting words on the page, and I've written about 6,500 words since the start of NaNoWriMo, which for me is a pretty good word count. When I started NaNoWriMo, I had about 1,500 words-ish. Now I have 21K. And that means like, once I get past 20K is a pretty big part of a novel for me. I'm in the second act. I'm getting my steam going. I'm pushing to the middle, which will... I'm feeling really good about this draft, and I'm feeling really good about my progress. So my NaNoWriMo update is I've written almost every day. I've hit my personal goal metrics for each day, which is writing something, trying to write at least 500 words. And I'm a pretty good way to my personal month's goal of 20 to 30K. 20K is like my realistic goal, and 30K is my stretch goal. And I'm at 6,500, and we're only 10 days into Nano. I'm feeling pretty good about it, but I'm also going to be fully honest. Even if I don't get like a magical 20K, if I'm under that, I have accomplished my goals for the month, which was I knew that I had to get back in the writing groove and make progress on this draft. So I'm feeling pretty good about NaNoWriMo. How are you doing? Probably my biggest advice if you're like, Alexa, I came here for practical tips. Like, you're not helping me. You're basically patting yourself on the back for not reaching your word goals. But be kind to yourself, like honestly, and push through on the days when it is going to be hard for you, when it's not a perfect day for writing. Just try to get anything on the page. That really is my best advice. Just go with the writing flow, be nice to yourself, and let me know that down in the comments how you are doing with your goals. I hope those of you who are pushing for that 50K are doing well. I hope you're on track to hit your goals, because it's an amazing feeling. I do have to say, when you are hitting the 1,667 words a day and you're like chugging along, it's the most amazing feeling. And that feeling of confidence does kind of help push you to the end. I did it 2 years ago. It was amazing. I'm just not at a place in my life and in this draft because pantsing is different for me for every book, and how strong I feel about the pantsing. Jane Eyre in Space just came to me fast. This book is coming to me a bit more slowly, but it is coming. Don't give up. That's the key. If you write a little bit every day, consistently, eventually you'll have a novel. So that's my Space Songs NaNoWriMo update. I love my new hair. I'm really super excited about that. So yeah, this is my writing and life update. Let me know your progress down in the comments, and also anything you're struggling with, because that will give me some ideas of things I can address in future videos. Because even if I am not hitting the 50K NaNoWriMo goal this month, I have done it before, and I do have advice, but I tend to do better when you hit me with specific questions. So let me know how it's going, and as always, happy writing, everyone.